When she was a kid, Luna aspired to be a superhero. Not the ones in skin-tight suits.
Shit, I meant to bring up the options. Whatever. Wait, maybe let's actually watch the intro this time. I'll cut it to the beginning.
When she was a kid, Luna aspired to be a superhero. Not the ones in skin-tight suits that could fly, but the ones that identified connections where others didn't. She wanted X-ray vision to observe criminals when they tried to hide from the law, and supersonic hearing to listen in on mischievous talks, then a measure of heightened strength to restrain the guys bigger than her. This was all she craved when she was a child. As she became older, her ambitions took a more realistic approach, which seemed in direct opposition to the surreal tone the news took. The facts became the new dystopian fiction. The world grew louder each year, apparently more violent, or more visible than the year before. Her generation grew up looking to cull the increasingly violent trends that saw mass incarcerations, drug wars, and serial killers studying to gain notoriety. Luna took the analytical route in her quest for justice, feeling more at home processing case files, evidence, and connecting dots. Her cousin, a sister almost, enrolled in the academy and became an officer of the law. Even extended family, no matter how far away, seemed to gravitate towards law enforcement, almost as if it were in their blood. A murderer becomes a serial killer with just 2 more kills, a coworker informed her over scones and coffee one morning. This one had 3 total that day, but that number hit double digits soon enough, accumulating corpses of officers, criminal lawyers, and several field investigators to a growing pile of victims. The news on TV, becoming more unreal as the years ticked on by, ran the blue blood killer story 24/7. Luna knew about the local serial killer, more so than most thanks to all the overtime spent processing corroborative evidence for their many crimes. However, it still felt more like gossip than fabricated plot points. At least, until that phone call made something so artificial an actuality. The call came in the middle of the night, as unexpected as a bullet in the dark. Her cousin, the exemplar of a police officer, had been killed. It was just the tragically common traffic stop gone wrong, or armed robber with a weighted pistol. Maybe Luna could have mourned and pushed on, but it wasn't any run-of-the-mill incident that was so characteristic of headlines. No, it wasn't that, because life had long turned into a phantasmagoric nightmare. Officer Sarah Youngman, revered by all that mattered, died at the hands of the blue blood killer. Who he was, or who they were, remained an enigma, despite their murder spree eroding through states, counties, and homes. But more than the long list of confirmed victims and possible connections Luna herself had registered and slept away, this monster killed Sarah. Somehow, that turned the boogeyman into a living, breathing threat. No longer was this tyrant a thing she filed at the end of the day. It wasn't an obsession of the media. He was here, and if not in the literal sense, then definitely in her mind. This realization gnawed at her for months after the real mourning faded. Luna's acceptance stage barely registered before she fell swiftly to anger once again, and it never genuinely went away. Luna craved a name. She wanted to know who killed the sweetest woman in the world, despite so-called dirty cops walking free. Luna needed justice. What was it about her cousin that triggered this killer in the first place? Could it be that she stood for everything a cop should be? A perfect example of morality, protectiveness, mentality, and heart? Officer Youngman was everything demanded in the ones that protected them, and Luna wouldn't allow her memory to fade away as another statistic. Day in and day out, she spent the connections she'd built up through work and rowdy Christmas parties to see if there was something no one else saw. Cop friends that never steered her wrong came up empty-handed. Family members with careers linked closer to the real action knew little else than the papers. Even the old-timers that knew things few else did all but shrugged when she pressed them for clues. She needed leads first, but there were none. So, In a last-ditch effort, she resolved to chew her boss for leeway. Luna did all she could for any little morsel of information, regardless of the fallout. Being an investigations analyst for the district attorney's office had its perks, but it only teased her for all the good it did with building an idea of who this killer was. Her boss knew what she was after, but he followed the rules as strictly as Luna did. Being shut down by him just meant there was one less layer between a law-abiding citizen and vigilante justice. With each denied application for information outside her classification, Luna saw the justice system's holes appear and broaden. Sometimes the law hindered what mattered. Progress couldn't always continue behind red tape and protocol. Perhaps, in cases like these, rules were meant to be budged. Maybe she couldn't talk her way into databases and case folders. Maybe it wasn't so easy as to read reports on other victims, hoping a eureka moment hit her. If she were going to make any change, it had to start with her, with citizens willing to help. Yes, Luna respected the law, and she would uphold it as Sarah would have wanted, but she couldn't stand idly by any longer. One morning, she called in sick, made flyers, and pinned them around town. She started a neighborhood watch that day, and by the next day at work, Luna couldn't think of anything else. It started with one report, then 2, then 3 and 4, and more. Before she realized what was happening, her small network of retired cops and nosy neighbors had become a full-on crime watch program that spanned beyond the neighborhood, the suburbs, and into town. At times, the number of reports felt too much for one person, but for the hundreds of thousands of people less prepared for human horrors as Sarah was, Luna felt that a couple of sleepless nights was the least she could do. Luna had to get her answers somehow.
Okay. Don't know how I feel about that. All of that.
I should get...
Oh, you can turn off jump scares. That's cool. Okay,
to my
so...
computer and get the night started.
So, I don't really know why I bought this game, because... Oh. There we go, okay. Because it was kind of a, impulse decision. But I did watch John play. Most of it. It's not usually my type of game to play. I love watching it, but, I don't know. I guess I was just interested. I doubt I'm gonna get very far. I doubt I'm gonna do very well, but I don't know. I'm interested in playing the game. Lights throughout my home are randomly turning off without me touching any of the switches. Also, if I leave my security camera light on too long, the breaker trips. I'd like a quote on your soon as possible opening and get this mess sorted. I am super busy the next few weeks. In the meantime, I suggest flicking the light switches on and off a few times to get them to turn on. There's probably a short/loose wiring that has been causing the lights to turn off. The camera light limit your use to shorter bursts to avoid flipping the breaker. It sounds like it's drawing more power than your breaker was rated for. The diagnoses above are just assumptions, and at this point I can't give you a quote, unfortunately, without first coming to your home. If you still want to schedule an appointment, my first open slot is early next month. Last night I thought I heard something outside my house, so I promptly checked my security cameras to see what it was and saw a strange man creeping around. Unsure of what this person was doing snooping around outside, I shined the camera light on them to get a better look at who it was. After clearly being caught, he ran off, but after checking the footage a couple times, his face seemed so familiar. It dawned on me after the fact that he matched the description of the man the police were after for a murder. It's our duty as members of the Watch to keep the community safe and aware of what's going on. I recommend everyone shares this message to monitor your cameras and, if available, use your camera lights to deter any suspicious persons away from your property. As of today, we've notified the agency about a potential suspect we believe is involved in a sex trafficking ring. Our suspicion comes from the disappearance of a number of female victims and an eyewitness account of one woman who was able to escape. We know that the man operates alone, and at night specifically, he is around 6 feet tall, bald, white, medium build, and has a forearm tattoo. We'd like to stress this message specifically to the woman, as you could in fact be his next target. Based on the track record, it seems as if he is looking to kidnap women exclusively. It's also come to my attention that the builder who developed many of the homes in this area cut some corners. Many of the reports point to a compromised window locking mechanism as the culprit behind the unwanted entries. Security is key here. Leave your lights on and ensure your windows are locked. Okay. So as much as I watched this, I still don't really know what I'm doing. I'm trying to have it how John set it up. Okay. Suspicious persons report. David Fobbs. While I was giving my dogs an evening walk, I passed by David's house. I haven't seen him in upward of 2 whole weeks, but before I turned down the street, I saw a black van with no windows pull into his drive. It dropped him off, then peeled out of the driveway like a bat out of hell. It was dark by that point, but I think I saw bruises all up and down his arms and legs, and it looked like he barely had enough energy to make it up the 3 steps to his front door. So why is David the suspect? This? I have no idea what I'm doing, oh my god. Oh, okay. Plane tickets to Hawaii, what to expect in Hawaii, Hawaii culture, Hawaii woman, best sunblock, board rentals in Honolulu. Pictures. What's this? Just got back. I guess milk goes bad after 14 days. Semi ran you over. Okay, so this is a shred then. Okay, got it. Aidan Redcliffe. The young Mr. Redcliffe has inherited a fortune of money from his deceased father a few months prior. I watched Aidan grow up, and he was always quite the impulsive and fast-paced person. Still, he seemed to be spending little of that money until now and seems to be living a healthy life. At least I thought that until I met him yesterday night. It was already dark, and I still had to put my garbage cans outside. It looked like I surprised him because he looked like he was going to draw his pistol on me, but didn't when he recognized my face. Of course, he tried to talk his way out of it, saying that you can never be too safe around here. Who carries a gun with them to take out garbage? That's the type of chore you send your kids to do. Okay. I need to remember to actually, I need to remember that I'm playing a horror game. How do I get out of the computer? Right click? Yeah. Oh. Space. F. Oh god. Oh god, they're all turned off. Search history. Houses in Europe, comparable global interest rates for money, books about serial killers, boat prices, police in the US tracing money back to an offshore bank account. Jesus. Okay. Fucking rude. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay. Well. Okay. Oh, I need to get his ID card. Sure don't remember how to do that. This? Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm like really slow at this right now. Emma Slurry. That girl Emma Slurry from down the street is up to no good. She's been walking around the block at least 5 times a day for the last 2 weeks. This post is talking about me, walking fast in a very revealing outfit. Oh no. Oh, did I just get that wrong? Whoops. Okay, well. Julie is a tenant of mine. She rents out one of the smaller houses that I own in the neighborhood. I should be checking these. Really pleasant to speak to, not at all bad. Okay. Some weird things have been happening lately at the house. Listen, I own the place technically, okay? Sometimes I wander in to make sure nothing's broken. Sue me. More times than I can count, I've walked into pools of blood on the dining room table or desk. Next day clean. Sometimes I see Julie entering the house covered in bruises and cuts. The next day gone. Sometimes I see pieces of skin scattered over my coffee table and couch. The next day it's like it was never there. I mean, what the fuck, right? I like the kid enough that I figured I should say something just in case she's in real trouble. Also, don't want too much damage on the house in case it gets worse. You know the drill. Okay. Oh. Why isn't she speaking? Luna hasn't been saying anything. Anyway. Internet's out. Oh. No, stop turning off. Oh god, that scared me. Okay. I think that fixed it. I hate that there's no music or anything. It makes it really creepy. Search history, silicone molds, toolkit makeup, how to make blood, how to make fake blood. Okay. There we go. Finally finished day 1. That only took me forever. Most of these windows were actually locked already. That's cool. Starla Martin. I think I know who set fire to that house where that poor family, 4, the one with the twin babies, died. Jesus. I live across from that house, so 2 months before the fire, when it was being sold, I saw that family shake hands with a real estate agent, the one whose face is plastered on a few of the for sale houses around here. She has a dark Fonda Civil and has a fondness for the home too, because I swear she had been driving by the house maybe once a week, just cruising by. For what? No idea. Night of the fire, I see the same car again parked out front. I looked around, but I can't see if anyone's inside the car. I take a quick glance at the house across the street and don't notice anything out of the ordinary either, and go back to bed. Then boom, a few hours later, I wake up to the sound of fire trucks and police galore. Oh, and that dark Fonda Civil, yeah, nowhere to be seen. Okay. Search history. Nothing interesting. Interesting photos. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, what the fuck is that noise? Okay, hated that. Anyway. Starla Martin. There we go. Daniel Hubbard. I met my neighbor for the first time today as he came by asking if he could use my bathroom since his plumber shut off the water at his place. Let him inside my home, and when he was on his way out, he slowed down, stood still, and just started admiring things inside my house. I appreciated the compliment to my home decor and asked if he needed anything else before going on his way. He jokingly said, "Yeah, toss me a key so I can come back anytime." I forced some laughter at the moment to be kind. I'm not sure if he perceived how I acted as an agreement to his ridiculous question, or I'm just forgetful on where I last placed my keys, but now I'm missing a set of keys from my key rack. That's weird. Here we go. Bipolar off meds, but I feel fine. Alternatives to taking bipolar meds, meditation techniques. It's not great to be off your meds. Aw. Is this a shred or... This is upsetting. Nope, that was supposed to be a shred. Whoops. I was sitting for my friend one week, and as I pulled up to make a regular check on the house, I noticed that the outside motion lights didn't turn on. Speaking of which... Oh god. Oh god, oh god! I hate this. Fucking hate this. Where do I go to fix this? Let me out. Hello? Why the fuck did my flashlight turn off? No, this is just the bathroom. I don't know how to fix this. I don't go outside, right? I'm really sick of the flashlight turning off. It's fucking freaking me out. It's gotta be in that closet, right? Oh my god. None of my buttons were working for a minute. Did that fix it? Got it. Okay. I don't know what you're supposed to do with the power.